Every time I talk to a coach, consultant, or agency owner about YouTube, I pretty much always hear the same thing. I know I should be doing it, but I just don't have the time for it. And honestly, I get it. You're already running a business, you've got clients, you've got calls. The last thing you need is another full-time job creating content. But what if I told you that some of my clients only spend about an hour a week total on YouTube, and they're booking sales calls from it every single month? Not because they're grinding content 24/7, it's because they have a system that handles the heavy lifting for them. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what that looks like, how much time it actually takes, what you need to do versus what you need to hand off, and why most business owners massively overestimate how hard this actually is. So the problem here is that you've just been playing the wrong game. And where most business owners get tripped up with YouTube is they look at creators who are posting 3 to 5 times a week, spending hours editing, obsessing over the thumbnails, and they think that's what it takes to succeed on YouTube, like this massive production. And if your goal is to become a full-time YouTuber, then yeah, that might be what it takes, but you're not trying to become a YouTuber, you're trying to get more clients for your business. And those are two completely different games. So I'm gonna spell it out here for you. The YouTuber game is focusing on views and subscribers, AdSense revenue, posting 3 to 5 times a week, and spending hours editing, obsessing over thumbnails. The client acquisition game is really just caring about getting the right 50 to 100 people to watch, making them think, damn, this person actually knows what they're talking about. So showing off your competence that, because if you're asking for thousands of dollars from one person, they need to feel like they can trust you with that money and that they're not just giving it to some random idiot. Then you want to focus on just getting one video out per week and having a system that does the heavy lifting for you. I have a client, and you guys can watch the video I posted previous to this one where I'm detailing my case study with him. He collected $25,000 from a single YouTube video. That video only had 200 views, not 200,000, 200, but there were the right 200 people watching. And all he needed was one person to watch that video, have it really resonate, then reach out and eventually close and pay a high ticket deal. So what you're thinking is, I don't have time for YouTube, but what you're actually saying is you don't have time for the version of YouTube that you've been imagining, which is some overly massive production, studio that you need to be in, high-tech equipment, which is just not the case. And the truth is, I agree, that version sucks. But the version that you're looking at when you're watching this video, where I'm just sitting in my room, iPhone camera, microphone, and I'm putting out videos, this is all you need to do to make money from content. So what I want to do now is I just want to walk you through what a typical week looks like for one of my clients. So Monday or Tuesday, they'll receive a full script from the team, researched and validated for their niche. You just read it and make it sound like you. The way we do the scripting is the hooks and the CTAs are all word for word, but the body is in a bullet pointed format. That way you can be yourself, inject your own knowledge and expertise into the script, because when you have something that's word for word, it's really easy to come off as robotic. And, at the end of the day, my clients are the experts in their niche. I could do, 1,000 hours worth of research and probably not know as much as they know. So I don't want to write something word for word and have them not be in full agreement of what the script says. I want to give you guys the space and leverage to inject your own knowledge and expertise, because you can detail your own service or product better than any agency could. Then after receiving the script, that's when you'll sit down for about an hour, hit record, go through the script, send me the raw footage, and after that, you don't touch it again. My team handles the editing, the thumbnails, the SEO, the uploading, and after that, an 8 to 12 minute video sits on YouTube permanently, working at 2 a.m. while you're on vacation, while you're on a call. So when I say 1 hour per week, I actually mean 1 hour a week, not 1 hour of recording plus 4 hours of editing, 2 hours designing a thumbnail, 1 hour period, send the raw footage and forget about it. So for 1 hour a week on YouTube, you can build a library of content that compounds every single week, month over month. Every video makes the next one more effective, and it works for you 24/7. Cold outreach, this is something you're going to spend 2 to 3 hours a day on. You're sending DMs to people who don't know you, they don't trust you, probably won't respond. They're probably pissed off. They're getting a million messages from a bunch of different people. Or you can have paid ads, which is about 3 to 5K a month. Leads show up pretty skeptical because they saw an ad, not because they chose to watch your content. Now, if you want to run ads effectively, you should still be on YouTube. That way people who find your ad can go search you up and binge watch your content, so that they do get a chance to know, like, and trust you more before hopping on any call. Okay, so if you actually want to do this, you want to get clients from YouTube in 1 hour a week, here's exactly what it comes down to. So one video per week, that's it. You don't need to post every day. You don't need shorts. And I actually recommend that you don't post shorts on the same channel as your long form content. The reason being is the shorts are going to get shown to people who are always scrolling shorts. And if those people go from shorts to your long form content, but don't really have the attention span to sit through something that's long form, they might watch 30 seconds of your long form content, then skip off the video and go to something else. And what that's telling YouTube is, hey, this video is not that interesting. Let's not show it to a lot of people. when in reality, that shorts viewer just has a low attention span and it's hurting your reach because YouTube really cares about watch time. They want to keep people on their platform as long as possible. So I recommend keeping your long form separated from your short form. And you only need to do one long form video per week, every single week for 90 days. That's the commitment. It's just about 12 videos. You'll start seeing momentum and leads coming in. Next, you want to make videos that solve real problems. Every video should answer a specific question your ideal client is already asking, not generic content, not thought leadership, specific practical stuff that makes them think you've been reading their mind. So you don't want to make a video titled How to Grow Your Business. You want to make a video titled Why Your Agency is Stuck at $30,000 a month and How to Break Through, because that's speaking to a very niche audience. There's tons of business owners out there, but the percentage of business owners that are making $30,000 a month is significantly smaller than just the range of business owners out there. So we talk to one specific avatar. And then third, you want to have a conversion system behind the content. The video isn't the end, it's the beginning. You need a clear call to action, a way for people to take the next step with you. The people who book from YouTube are different. They're not cold. They just spent 10 to 15 minutes listening to you talk about their exact problem. They show up to the call and they're basically pre-sold. There's no convincing here. There's no heavy objection handling. Just when do we start? And maybe how much does it cost to get started? Step 4 is outsource everything that isn't you. This is the part that changes everything. The only thing your audience actually needs from you is your face and your voice. That's it. The scripting, the editing, the thumbnails, the SEO, the uploading, none of that has to be you. And when you remove all of that from your plate, suddenly YouTube goes from this overwhelming time suck to 1 hour on the calendar. And you might hear this and you think, okay, I'll just go hire an editor from overseas. They'll do the editing. I'll record, maybe I'll get some thumbnail designers from Fiverr and bang, I got it. But the issue with that is your overseas editor might not be proficient in English. So you're going to have to rewatch your videos over and over again, checking for spelling mistakes, telling him to revise certain mistakes there just because there's a language barrier issue. And then you have to worry about them, being on the other side of the world where they might be asleep when you need the revisions made. So now there's this overlap and when you have to wait for them to be available to take information from you. And it becomes a headache because now you're having to babysit someone when in reality, you could have someone just quality check and do the revisions before it even gets put in front of you. And then the thumbnails, it's very easy to go find a thumbnail designer just anywhere, but you want to make sure specifically that they know how to make thumbnails for B2B because you don't want some like cartoonish ass thumbnails when you're a business owner trying to attract other business owners. You need to have a very specific professional look to your content. And then I also hear a lot of, well, why do I need you to script? Well, there's a difference between writing what you want to say and writing what your ideal client needs to hear to book a call. That's not copywriting, that's a conversion strategy. So you need to know which topics attract buyers versus tire kickers. You need to structure a video so someone goes from, okay, this is interesting to, I need to talk to this person in 10 minutes. That's really the difference between a video that gets views and a video that gets you paid. My client Charlie didn't go from 10K months to 30K months because of fancy editing. It was because every single video was reverse engineered to attract a specific type of buyer and move them toward a call. That's the part most people can't do on their own, not because they're not smart enough, but because they're too close to their own business to see it. And my client we just spoke about spent way less than $25,000 working with us, and one video brought in $25,000. Just one. The video's still up, still working. The math pretty much speaks for itself. And in the video that I posted previous to this one, he already told me that the money from one deal is paying for the services alone. He doesn't even pay me out of pocket anymore. So you can see the ROI here is immense. And now I briefly want to detail Charlie's case study with us. So before we were working together, he was doing about 10K a month, all from referrals and cold outreach. He's pretty much stuck in that revenue range because cold outreach really isn't scalable. Then we came up with a strategy, just one video per week, 1 hour of recording, scripts provided. My team handled everything else. And just 14 days later, 2 videos published, he had something like 15, 20 leads in the pipeline and he already collected $15,000. And then fast forward, now he added $20,000 to his monthly recurring revenue just from creating content. Leads who watched his videos felt like they already knew him and showed up to his sales calls ready to buy. The leads who were already aware of him but didn't necessarily know if they wanted to work with him yet were able to spend time watching his videos, and that's what was needed to push them over the edge to actually work with him. He didn't go viral. He didn't get 100,000 subscribers. He just consistently put out one video a week that spoke directly to his ideal client, and then the math did the rest. You really don't have to do this alone. If you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner making over $15,000 a month and you've been putting off YouTube because you think it's too much work, I hope this showed you it doesn't have to be one video, 1 hour every week. That's it. If you want help with the rest, the scripts, the editing, the thumbnails, all of it, there's a link in the description to book a call. No pressure. We'll talk about your business, figure out if YouTube makes sense for you, and go from there. And if you found this useful, hit the subscribe button. New stuff every week about using YouTube to actually get clients, not just views. Hope you got something out of this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.